Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Miss and welcome to my ban list prediction slash wish list video. If there's one thing that I've learned with Konami is that making an actual prediction list that is 100% consistent is basically impossible, because every time you think there's a logical decision to be made, well, there's always something whack that's gonna be done. Well, I mean, not always, but kind of often. And I feel like this ban list, maybe none of our predictions are actually going to be fulfilled. So let's get into the banned cards first. Alright, so the very first banned card that I have is VFD. I'm not actually putting the image on the screen because I don't want people to actually just skip on the video and see, oh yeah, those are the cards that you actually have in your video. No, you gotta listen to everything. But VFD is the first card that I have because it's really oppressive and it's kind of too easy to make. Virtual Worlds can make this in literally 2 seconds with 2 cards, and also they have the trap on top of that, and they have like a follow-up and stuff. So no, I really don't want VFD to ever see play ever again, because it's just, I mean, it can see play, but only in like future formats where you don't like stop your opponent from killing completely just to kill them right after. And right now you're kind of forced to play combo, otherwise you're way too like late behind. If you're playing control, then you're probably just gonna lose to every combo deck out there, because either you're getting hand looped thanks to freaking Infernobles, which I'm going to cover later on, or yeah, you can't do anything. So if you play combo, you lose to VFD, and if you play control, you lose to everything. So VFD, I'm sorry, but you literally have to get banned. A card that is basically very similar to VFD in the way that it actually just stops the opponent from playing completely, and it's not really a card that you can handle with like game 1 necessarily, because you need specific cards to beat it, is the Buster Lock. So the name of the card is Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. It's not even needed in Buster Blader, so why would you try to protect this card? It's just cancer. It doesn't promote back and forth gameplay, which is supposed to be what this game is all about, or I guess also deck building. So technically there should also be a part of being able to combo and explode, but just lingering effects that say your opponent can't even attempt to do anything are just, I can't really see how this can be fair. It's not really like Domain in like the Monarch deck, as someone mentioned. You know, like you at least have to commit to playing like Monarch cards, and you have to have no extra deck like for your Domain to do something. But with Buster, like Dragon Buster Destruction Sword, it's a joke, because all you do is Union Carrier target like a Dark or a Dragon, and not only does your monster gain 1,000, so it becomes even more annoying to run over, and without an extra deck, I mean, good luck actually getting rid of this card. So yeah, no, it's absolute cancer. Speaking of cards that don't even attempt to, like, don't even let your opponent to even attempt to do anything, because this is what frustrates me the most, is actually Zexel. Now, the reason why I'm including in this list is because my last prediction, I said Zexel shouldn't be banned, not because it's not good, but because it wasn't seeing much play. And I realized that this wasn't really a winning argument, because in the OCG, Zexel got banned, even when it was realistically not even in like the top tier meta deck. So this is purely just a prediction based on like Konami's patterns. You know, they won't necessarily ban a card that everyone is playing, but also they will ban the card that they might expect people to start playing if, you know, the top decks get banned and you have to like, you know, resort to a second option. You know, Zexel just kind of looks like the backup plan for everyone who might be right now using VFD to stop the opponent from playing. Maybe if they see VFD banned but not Zexel, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, let's just all play Neuron Network and Zexel our opponents. You know, of course there are risks associated to that, because you can draw Calling, you can just draw bad, and it can conflict with your strategy really hard, but it still doesn't change the fact that Zexel by mechanic is not a healthy card, and because of that it should get banned. Another card that is not healthy by mechanic, even though it existed for a while and it never really saw a lot of play, is actually Smoke Grenade of the Thief. This card is used in Infernobles because Roland, I believe that's the name, yeah, the level 5 Synchro, can actually just send an equip spell. Actually, no, you don't even need Roland to do all of that, because your Isolde can just pitch Smoke Grenade, and then during the end phase, Charlemagne will just equip Smoke Grenade from the graveyard, and then destroy one card on the field. And of course, if you destroy your own Smoke Grenade, you can look at your opponent's hand and discard one card. What the heck? It makes absolutely no sense. It's just way too broken, because it literally, it it's just unfair. You make them lose their like broken cards that were supposed to break your board, so you're kind of putting yourself in a position where you cannot lose, and because of that, I think Smoke Grenade just cannot exist. I feel like there should be risks to everything. If you want to combo really hard, sure, but then don't stop me from breaking your board. If you want to stop me and prevent me from even trying to do anything, I feel like this is just way... This is when we get to the point where the game is way too unfair, and Smoke Grenade is just that kind of card that if we don't see the following cards that I'm about to mention banned, well, Smoke Grenade at least has to get banned. Alright, so some other cards that actually should get banned, not necessarily all of them, of course, but I have a priority list. So in the priority list of 4 cards, I hope at least 1 or 2 of them will get banned. Not limited because they wouldn't change anything. So priority number 1 will be Needle Fiber because it is simply the starter. Priority number 2 will be Link Cross because it enables you to synchro summon out of pretty much nowhere because it gives you 2 level 1 tokens. Yeah, at least 2 level 1 tokens. And if you have just any level 1 tuner or level 2 tuner or something, you go for Metal Marcher, you make Herald, you start playing through hand traps, it becomes ridiculous. Like I said, there has to be risks associated to everything, so way too unfair. I don't like Link Cross either. Priority number 3 is actually the card that makes Link Cross even better, which is Martial Marcher. It's a level 3 synchro. I feel like there are high chances of this card being banned instead of Link Cross. I could be wrong, but I don't know. And the 4th card is actually a card that works especially well with Needle Fiber, and that card is Auradon. But to be fair, I think Auradon will actually survive because O-Lion was the most powerful card it could actually summon, and without O-Lion, and assuming that another card gets banned instead, I don't think Auradon is that unhealthy. I feel like the effect attribute 3 to the Cycle Run trap card from your graveyard might be one of the best, but this is just... I feel like we can live without this. So I think it'll definitely survive. I mean, that's just up to me, like I said. That's just... like, according to what I know, but I could definitely be wrong. I think Auradon will survive, and at least 1 or 2 of the other cards will get banned. Another card that I want banned, yes, I know I'm asking for a lot, but to be fair, this format is really cancer. Don't pretend like it's not, it's really bad. Another card that I want banned is actually Dragoon of Red Eyes. I hate this card so much because it destroys creativity completely in Yu-Gi-Oh! I always feel like there's always going to be a lot of people in the comment section saying, oh yeah, instead of making a rank 4 at the end by using your 2 level 4s, why don't you make an Anaconda and send Dark Magician, Red Eyes Black Dragon, and Red Eyes Fusion to make Dragoon? It's just so much better. Well, the thing is, if this is always the default option that every single player will always choose just because it's a better negate and a card that just takes more effort to clear, then no, of course not. This is just super cancer. Why? It's exactly like Upstart Goblin. It reminds me a lot of the card because the reason why Upstart got limited in the first place absolutely wasn't because of the power level. Of course not. I mean, did anyone ever complain, oh wow, you're so sacky, you drew Upstart in time, you're so lucky, wow. No, they don't complain about that. It's just Konami was getting tired of seeing every deck list with 3 Upstart, 3 Upstart, 3 Upstart, and Dragoon might just end up being the same thing. So if you're banning a lot of really good combo cards, but you're keeping Dragoon into the metagame, then the next reflex that people will have is just always making Dragoon every single time. So this is just like a prediction for the future, like trying to hit a card before it becomes a huge problem, because in the OCG right now it's banned, and to be fair, you can also ban Red Eyes Fusion instead, but at the end of the day it doesn't really change too much. I think Dragoon is kind of fine if you don't summon it like the strong way. If you don't summon it as a floodgate, which means that, you know, it can pop 2 cards, well, 2 monsters and deal damage. I think this is like the most cancer thing Dragoon can do. Negating, of course, is annoying, but at least it doesn't become a floodgate, because at least I can start like floating and like resisting your attack. So yeah. The final banned card is actually Guard Dragon LP. I just hate that card so much because, oh my god, LP. It summons Brotor. It summons really strong cards. It allows you to get to Levinier, which removes another card from your opponent's hand. You can start making like disgusting link monsters like Hieratic Seal, Unchained Abomination, and then level 8 synchros, Burl Savage. And no, this LP just allows you to do too much in Dragon Link. So if you take away LP, Dragon Link is very not good anymore. So it just kind of becomes like a control deck, but that has like a combo vibe, which I don't think is that good, but it's at least not unhealthy, and it can at least kind of compete to a certain extent. Of course, it won't be broken, but, you know, you understand what I'm trying to say. Alright, now for the limited cards. This is going to be quite an interesting... it's only 3 cards. The first card that I kind of want unlimited would be Blaster Dragon Ruler of Infernos, because it completely sucks. Nobody cares about this card whatsoever. It's not good in any deck at all, and it's not good against anyone. So yes, I could technically see this card come back to 3. It's one of the bad Dragon Rulers, so I don't care. Blaster can go back to at least 1 for now. But this is, I think, a solid prediction. Another solid prediction that is basically just a marketing move would be to limit Electrum, the Link to Metal Foes monster. The reason for that is because in Blazing Vortex we're going to have more Metal Foes cards, even though most of them are pretty garbage in the Metal Foes deck. I guess it just kind of follows the same pattern as what they did with Rusty, so could make sense. I don't know yet, but I think it could actually make sense. And the third card that I want limited, this time it's actually a nerf, is Conquistador of the Golden Land. A lot of people are actually saying, oh yeah, but maybe like Scarlet should get limited instead. That makes sense, but the thing is, if you limit Scarlet, all you're doing is just telling people, okay, yeah, just play more White Fate and more Black Awakening instead and you'll be fine. Whereas if you limit Conquistador, nothing necessarily replaces it that well. You can still play like 3 Hakuero, which is nice of course, but you won't get access to pop face-up cards more than once in the game, because the deck doesn't have recycling capabilities. All it does is just get resources from your deck and that's it, that's all. So I think limiting Conquistador is just the healthiest thing to do. Now for the semi-limited section of this video, I actually have also a couple of cards. The first one is Tempest, Dragon Ruler of Storms. I think once again this card sucks, and if they want to sell Dragoonity structure deck, if that's even gonna be a thing, well, why not try to actually put Tempest to 2 or 3, because like I said, it's not good. Nobody really cares about Tempest. Have you ever seen someone complain about a Dragon Ruler anytime, like lately? The only ones that are kind of scary are Tidal and Redox, because they actually have good effects, but Tempest and Blaster, a little less degenerate, right? Like, Tempest would search Dragon Wind, which is kind of specific. Redox is kind of like a Monster Reborn, and Tidal is like a huge Lavalval chain, so I don't know about that. Yeah, it's just, I guess, a good opportunity to sell Dragoonity. And another good opportunity to send an archetype that they were going to release support for is Infernity Archfiend back to 2, because there will be Infernity support in, I think it's Blazing Vortex, but I could be wrong. And some of the cards are actually quite playable, so Infernity Archfiend to 2 could honestly be quite nice. And finally, Emergency Teleport to 2 would be nice if they want to sell Mutant, and if they want to release Cosmos support in the future, which obviously will never happen, but we can always dream. And last but definitely not least, I'm just kidding, definitely least, nobody cares about those unlimits because they're kind of obvious. It's just Seer, Graph, Toad, and ABC Dragon Buster, because they are not unfair. And I mean, Toad is good in bad decks in general, ABC is good in one deck, and Seer and Graph, even in Phantom Knights, you wouldn't play 3 and 3 because it will become bricky. You can't really draw a lot of BAs and play, because if you special summon them, it's kind of like if you were special summoning a bad BA, so it's not like it made your hand any better. Seer and Graph, if anything, they're just really, really good in Trap and Burning Abyss, which I will make an update, by the way, for you guys. So yeah, anyways, that's kind of it for this Banlist prediction. If you guys have any comments or feedback, or if you have a different way to see things, definitely let me know. And that's basically it. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and that's it. Thank you. I will see you next time. Peace.